Hey YouTube, Sebastian here, Veg City, Wednesday 29th of December 2021. Just to give a little bit of a feedback on the day today. Alright, so let's start with some of the questions that I've been getting on the channel. To those of you watching, to those of you subscribing, liking, sharing, thank you very much, Taxamaker, I really appreciate it. Just to answer a few of the questions from the subscribers. One of the questions that I had was regarding the hydroponic and the pH of the water. So one of the guys mentioned that he was struggling with his pH, being at about 7.88, which is obviously quite high. On the hydroponic side, depending where you guys are based, if you go to your hydroponic store or where you are getting your fertilizers and your produce, there is what you call the pH up and the pH down. Yeah, I suppose you could do it naturally, but it's going to take a lot longer. And you're already adding some form of fertilizer or products into it. The pH adjusters are also natural based, from what I understand. That's one of the things that I mentioned to my suppliers, that I did want to stay as natural as possible. So you can get better chemicals that works a lot faster, easier to manage, easier to maintain, but I'm still wanting to keep it as clean as I can. So that is with a pH up or down. In my case, when I started, I ran obviously I had the aquaponic within the tanks where I'm now running the hydroponic. So I had the fish, the tanks were cycled and so on. So it took a little bit of time to cycle it, but I'll answer the question on the cycling after this. So let's stick to the pH. Purely, there is produce out there for your pH up and your pH down. There is some people that says you can use bicarbonate of soda or sodium. Yeah, but it's not really. This is a cooking utensil. I've used it in my swimming pools as well. It does work, but you need a lot of it. So I started with a pH of about just over 8.9 when I started. Our water was quite hard. And within 2 days of the hydroponic, it adjusted. And I think on the Thursday, the third day, I was then at about 6.4, 6.5, so it was quite good. That is on the question on the pH. Thank you very much for the comment. I hope my answer helps you. Regarding the heating of the store, I've had a question regarding how do I keep the store warm. Some comment, I'm not sure where from, but they were mentioning minus 42. I don't know if they mentioned 42 degrees Celsius, but I suppose that is quite cold. Just to keep in mind, my farm, my urban farm is inside a store, so I've got quite good insulation within the store on the walls. My main issue are my windows. So I've got a bay of windows in the front. They are double glazed windows. But due to the fact that I have a lot of water within the store, there's a lot of condensation that is happening. So typical morning when I walk into the store, it's not too bad today, but typical morning when I walk into the store, I could have some ice around the windows. They are doing the job, but it can get quite cold. When I came back now 2 days ago was about minus 25 in Nosha. And the store had dropped down to about 10 or 12 degrees, but that was my fault, as previously explained in my previous video. Was that I never put the heater on in the tanks. So automatically, if the weather is going to drop and the water temperature of the tanks drop, it all works together and it becomes quite cold. But yeah, so to answer the question, how do I heat up my store? I've got a normal inverter in the store. I mean, it's not about the brand or anything. Wherever you are, whatever you can get. So I've got a normal air conditioning inverter system. And then when it gets quite cold, I have to hide the temperature a bit. So if I want a constant 22, 23, 24 degrees in the store, I need to have the heating on about 28. Then what I do is that I switch off, I keep one of the fan on for general circulation in the store, but then I switch off my extractor. I have an extractor fan that I utilize that I've bought from my normal hardware store. So it's an extractor that I've actually mounted up onto the wall, and then there's an extracting pipe which is joined to the bathroom pipes for the air extraction, and it seems to be doing the job correctly. It's keeping my moisture, my humidity correct. In the evening when I go home, I do switch it off because I want to keep the store warm, but during the day when I'm here, there's movement, there's people that comes in, not yet, but with me being in the store the whole day, it stays warm, there's movement, and it's working. So that's on the question on the heating system. My third question that I got was, what type of plants am I using for the best profit? All right, that's a good question. I'm not there as yet. The plants that I have planted were seeds that I had bought, and the ones that I think will work the best. Again, this is something new for me that I'm trying out. I have worked with aquaponics before, but running my own store, doing it on a hybrid of aquaponic with vertical towers, hydroponic with flip beds, it's a really mix and match, which I believe it's working because all the plants have come out. But to answer the question on what is the most profitable, 2 points. The one is going to be how often can you rejuvenate the plant, or how quick does it grow. So if it's going to take for a plant, even in hydroponic or aquaponic, to take 3 to 4 months to grow from seed, that's definitely not a recommended item. Unless if you have sections that you can have and a bit of a mix. So if you're going to grow expensive herbs or vegetables that you know that you can retail at quite a high price per kilogram once you've got it going, then it can be worth it. My aim is to have rejuvenating plants that every 30 days, 25 to 30 days, I can sell. My store has space for 1,500 plants. That's including the flower beds, all 7 of them, and including all the pipes that I have in the store as well. So it's 1,500 plants. So I'm not going to be retailing at the beginning much more expensive than what you get in the stores, obviously on a competition point of view, but as the time goes, the price is going to be a few percent more than what you're paying for normal fruits and veg, well, mainly herbs and veg, but not so much more. So to answer the question, which plants, it all depends which area you are and what plants sell the most per kilogram. I hope that answers the questions. That is the general questions that I've had in the past 2-3 days. Many other comments, thumbs up, likes. Thank you very much to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the videos. I'm starting to spread the word as much as I can. I've tried to share the business on some website. Unfortunately, I was turned down. They see it as spam. My aim was not as spam, but just to share. So I guess I'll have to reread the rules about being on those specific forums and so on. I hope I didn't offend anybody on that way. But yeah, thank you very much to everybody. Hope you have fun. Have a good day. Speak to you guys soon. Hey do.